Hi, I'm Silken Laumann, and today I'm going to read a really special story from a young man named Tyler Smith, who is a survivor of the Humboldt Broncos bus crash. And, he actually did a great video for us promoting our website, We Are Unsinkable. And I think he was a little bit reluctant to share his story at first, wasn't sure how it went, but he's told us it's been an incredibly positive experience. And I'm not going to have the same voice as he is, but I think it's worth, particularly on the second anniversary of the crash, reading his story in its entirety. So thank you for listening. Hello, my name is Tyler Smith, and I'm from Leduc, Alberta, and I'm a survivor of the April 6, 2018 Humboldt Broncos bus crash. Firstly, I'm going to tell you a bit about myself. Ever since I was young, sport has been a very dominant aspect of my life and has ultimately shaped me into the person I am today. My usual yearly schedule would involve hockey from August to April, lacrosse from May to July, and golf from May to September. So needless to say, I have kept myself busy. I also kept my lovely parents busy with the amount of driving and supporting, which they were always happy to do. Whether it was going from a highly intense lacrosse game to a nice relaxing round of golf with my friends, I will always appreciate the opportunities I had and the connections I made through sport. Fast forward to 2018, where I was ready for my second year of Junior A hockey in the town of Drayton Valley, Alberta. I came into a training camp looking forward to a fresh year with the team, but little did I know I was on the way out. After getting called into the office and being told I'm going to be traded away from the organization to somewhere that was not necessarily on my list of places I would like to go, I was in fight or flight mode. As a junior hockey player in Canada, you know that if you are being dealt to another organization, it's not always the best feeling in the world. I came out of the room with disbelief and in shock. I called my parents and had to quickly regroup to figure out the next steps. Not having a huge desire to end up in a place that they had set out for me left me with the simple yet difficult act of calling every coach I could in order to find myself a spot to play. Because I've been playing hockey since I was 4 years old, I have a certain sense of knowing what the kind of hockey player I am and what kind of hockey person as well. I know as soon as I stepped foot into junior hockey, I wasn't going to score 50 goals or be the first line power play, and that was okay with me. I accepted my role as a player who can play both ends of the ice and also be the glue inside the dressing room that helps everyone enjoy the time spent with one another. Now, back to the next step towards my future junior hockey career. After calling numerous coaches around Alberta and parts of Saskatchewan, I was starting to lose faith. My brother's best friend spent 3 years in the town of Humboldt, Saskatchewan, playing with the Broncos. After a couple messages between him and I, there I was, calling the Humboldt's head coach, Darcy Hugan, and praying for good news on the other end. Coaches of junior hockey know that they want for their team dynamics and ultimately find players to work around that. Darcy was the first coach after many fruitless phone calls to accept my plea and give me one last shot at junior hockey. Humboldt is 6 hours away from Leduc, and I most definitely did not have a set spot on the roster. After packing my car full of clothes and belongings so I was ready for the possibility of staying, I was on my way. The first practice came and went, and let's just say I was a bit exhausted after not being able to practice with the team for some time. Even with me laying on the bench gasping for air, Coach Darcy saw something in me, which led me to finding my new home. Being a guy who loves the dressing room atmosphere, I like to think I'm pretty good at judging a team's overall dynamic and character right off the hop. And let me tell you, this team was special. It was already that sense of pure joy and gratefulness. It was only a few days in with the whole team that I was already feeling a sense of pure joy and gratefulness from every player to be there and to put on that Bronco logo. The feeling I got was all thanks to Darcy and his coaching staff. He was a coach who not only brought in good hockey players, but also brought in good people. Hopefully you're still with me. We are a few days after the accident and I'm waking in the hospital. I have no idea what's going on. Not having any memory of that day or the few days that followed led me to eventually having some questions from my family. But with a total of 8 injuries from the crash, I was in no shape to grasp everything that had happened because of the pain medication I was on. A couple surgeries and 13 days in hospital later, I was on my way back to Leduc. Recovery began with many days cooped up in my house, taking medication, going to physiotherapy, heading to doctor's appointments after doctor's appointments, just wanting to get back to a normal state physically and also mentally, which I knew was going to quite possibly never happen again after that day. As a 20-year-old kid, you never expect anything in your life like this to take place, let alone be part of it. There was no way to prepare for something of that magnitude because the bus is your safe haven as a hockey player. The bus is a place for laughs with the team and making good memories, and can now only be cherished from photos and videos. But now being on a bus is forever associated with the day that shook the nation, a day no one saw coming, and a day I will never forget. 16 of the people I spent close to every day with are now no longer there. 13 of my teammates left being survivors of the Humboldt bus crash, not knowing what comes next after something that will never make sense to any of us. The question of why will forever linger in our minds. Why us? Why would this happen? Why that day? Question that will never have answers. Many people have asked me, how do you do it? And unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that question. I give many thanks to the support from people across the country, but also the world, and I give full credit to the constant support of my family, friends, and teammates who are fighting this every day. Some days it's hard to get out of bed, or you don't want to do anything because at the end of the day, we lost 16 amazing people, and it's hard to grasp why they were taken away from us. I find that bouncing back is an everyday process. I can't jump ahead thinking everything will be healed and normal in a couple weeks because, quite frankly, I think it's next to impossible to completely heal mentally from something like this. But I believe I do know one thing. Those that are no longer here with us would want my teammates and me to get back to normal as quickly as we can. They're watching over us, and sometimes it's hard to know that. So you just have to believe. As a team, we always had each other's backs, no matter who was feeling down or needed a quick lift. I think a big thing we always remembered was to go back to, it's a great day to be a Bronco. We all firmly believe that. So whoever needed to hear it or to be reminded of it was definitely taken care of by fellow teammates. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a specific time or place where I can remember it coming into my mind that they were watching over me. I more just believe that every day. It's important to me to have that belief and feel that connection from up above. So wherever I may be, I try a little to remember what they would want me to do and how they would want me to feel. I find a little look up to the sky or a quick chat with them helps me regroup and start fresh if something isn't going my way. With the accident came a lot of physical struggles, but also a lot of mental struggles. Since April 6th, I've slowly come to learn how important mental health is. I was always someone who #Bell Let's Talk Day, but didn't understand the full meaning of mental health and how it can affect you. If you're a person who struggles to put yourself first and talk about what needs to be talked about, then trust me when I say that, I've been in your shoes. I was always the one welcoming other people's problems into my life to try and help the best I could to make sure that individual is going to be okay and felt cared for. But after hiding from my mental health problems and pushing them to the back burner, I realized how important it is to open up and put myself first, or else a rapid downhill spiral would occur. Talking to somebody and realizing that people are here to help allowed me to start getting back to my normal personality without having to hide things. If I can give one piece of advice as Tyler to anyone from all of this, it's that you have to be willing to open up when you aren't doing so hot. Life is very short. I know that's cliche, but it really is. So take advantage of that time you have and be grateful for the people around you. The people you surround yourself with will create new memories that you'll create new memories with. I took the memories for granted before, but now I realize that memories may all that you have left to hold on to. I will never be able to tell you how to grieve or heal or how to recover, because another major lesson I've learned is everyone heals differently. The way you heal is a different journey, and also shows you that there truly is no right or wrong way to heal from tragedy. One step at a time, one day at a time, one lesson at a time. Everything I experienced was pretty much brand new to me. I found out the hard way that being a part of a tragedy to this extent can take a very big toll on you, and taking care of yourself is something you must realize to do before it's too late. From my story, you got to know a little bit about me. And like most people, you may be curious to know how I'm doing. To answer that question, all I can say is, I'm doing okay. I truly miss every person I lost, more than anyone will ever know. And I would do anything to change that day, or to be able to say goodbye to each one of them. Because not being able to say goodbye is one of the hardest things of all to grasp. I want to personally thank all the people who left a stick outside their door or supported in any way possible. You have all filled my family's heart with love when we didn't have much left. The way events in our world transpire will sometimes never make sense, but it's important to take the time you need for yourself, take care of yourself, and to find those people who make you feel okay when you're not okay. Life is short. Be grateful for what you have and who you have. Thank you for reading. That's from Humboldt Broncos survivor Tyler Smith, a really special guy, and his words ring true today more than ever. Thank you.